Good morning. My name is Mike, and welcome to the Watchman News. I'll try not to take up too much of your time, but I felt like this was a critical video to make at this particular point in time. So, in light of a lot of things going on all about the world, there has been a large increase of interest in alternative energy, being able to provide your own power in case you have an outage in your area or larger. And while that's a good thing, it's always a good thing for people to be preparedness minded, I am seeing a continual issue pop up in social media on the different groups and what have you. And so that is what I want to address with this video. I have no products to sell you. I have no brands to recommend to you. That's not what this video is for. The reoccurring issue that I've seen popping up lately is a lot of people asking questions about using their devices, and in particular, I'll use one item in an example, a heater. And so, like, one person came in to one of the groups, they were asking a question, basically, how they would be able to set it up so that the heater would kick on, or the unit would kick on or something, and then, the way they wanted it to set up, and they were asking questions about it, and, I think that a lot of the more knowledgeable people were kind of looking at this kind of going, what? Now, this particular lady had a Delta Pro, and which is definitely a big unit. And but she was wanting to know about running a 1500 watt space heater with her Delta Pro. Folks, this is the important part of this video. Before you make any purchases, before you go out and buy a single bit of equipment, please take a step back. Ask as many questions as you can. You can go to these different Facebook groups. I'm mainly like in the EcoFlow ones, to be honest. But you can go to Facebook groups. You can ask right down in the comments of this video. I'll be more than happy to help you. And if there's something that I can't help you with, I'll be more than happy to get you put in the right direction. Typically, though, when it comes to this stuff, I'll have you covered. So, what's the issue with running that 1500 watt space heater with Delta Pro? Well, in and of itself, nothing. The device will run that heater just fine. Won't even affect it much. Not a Delta Pro anyway. However, when it comes to the storage capacity, even that Delta Pro is not going to run that 1500 watt space heater for very long. You will likely not even have a remote chance of being able to replace the energy into that system that you're taking out. And I'm talking about keeping up in real time. So let's say that it's daytime, the sun's came up, you've got all your solar panels out, you've got your system maxed out, you can't take any more solar. You would be lucky just to keep up with your current electrical need if you're running that 1500 watt space heater, okay? So there will be no charging or recharging of the batteries because you'll be using everything you can bring in just to keep your heater running. Probably not a good plan. Please take a step back and calculate your needs. Be realistic with yourself and understand that anything that provides heat, whether it's an actual space heater, whether it's a coffee pot, whether it's your espresso machine, if it provides heat, it's going to use tons and tons and tons of energy. So be realistic with yourself, number one. I think there's a lot of people that expect way too much out of these devices than what they're really intended for. And you may have that big old honkin' Delta Pro, and it may be able to run that space heater at 1500 watts and not blink an eye at it. but it doesn't mean that it's smart to do it. It doesn't mean that that's a wise, efficient use of energy. I would find another way to heat. That's why I'm a big fan of the diesel heaters. If you want to know more about that, click on my videos and put in the search bar for my videos, diesel heater, and you will come up with a list of videos about them. So number one, make sure that your needs, your wants, needs/wants, I guess, is realistic with what you're going to be able to do. That's number one. And if you're talking about running devices that have heating elements, probably not very realistic. I'm just saying. Number two, make sure that you get enough solar panels, okay? I see a lot of people that go out, and let's just put a number on it. Let's say they go out and they buy 400 watts worth of panels. They've got 400 watts worth of panels, and they get them put up, and they're out there. Let's say they're 4 separate 100-watt panels, and they get out there, and they're like, I'm only getting 300 watts. I've got 4 100-watt panels. Where's that 100 watts going? Well, when they rate those panels, that's at optimum conditions. Are your panels at optimum conditions? Meaning, are they at the exact optimum angle to that sun? Is there absolutely no haze in the sky? You know, these things make a difference. What's the temperature? That's going to make a difference of your solar panels output, okay? All of these things will affect that. So you may have bought 400 watts worth of panels, but what you're going to realistically get out of them is going to be less, especially if you don't have them mounted on a rack with a tracking system. So keep that in mind. Just because you bought that 400 watts of solar doesn't mean that you're going to put those panels up on a stand and that you're going to see 400 watts of solar coming in. It usually don't work like that. So, and if you do, count your blessings. And that's not anything against any of the panel manufacturers or anything like that. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the beast. One more thing, and I'm trying to keep this as short and sweet as possible. Stay away from plastic panels, whether they be semi-flexible panels or whether they be the portable folding solar panels. Stay away from them. I've done video after video after video about this. Delamination is your enemy with a plastic solar panel. Leave it on the shelf, meaning on the shelf at Amazon, on the shelf at whoever, whatever company. If it's a plastic panel, I only really know of one that I can recommend to you that's not, and that's the 220 watt bifacial solar panel from EcoFlow. It uses tempered glass. So that's the only panel that I can just off the top of my head tell you that is a folding portable panel that actually uses glass. Now, I think there are companies, including Renogy, that have like the 2 100-watt panels, and what they'll do is they'll have them hinged on one side with a couple of, clasps on the other side with the handle. Yeah, I think maybe even Harbor Freight might even sell a model similar to that. You could make your own if you wanted to save yourself a few bucks. But leave the plastic panels where the hell they're at. It's not, it's not that impressive to friends when your stuff don't work. So I'm just saying, they are cool when you take them out of the box and you first set them up. But then months down the road when they delaminate, and they're giving you half the power or none at all, then, it really didn't matter how much your buddies were impressed at that point in time. Leave the plastic panels on the shelf. Please. I'm trying to help you help yourself. I know the rigid, hard panels aren't as cool, right? I know dumbasses like Pinball Preparedness think that you're a fool for having a rigid panel if you've got a portable generator. Portable solar generator, whatever you want to call a thing, a battery box. Look, there's a lot of people that, they get compensated one way or another by the things that they tell you about this equipment. I'm not getting compensated by anybody, not even YouTube, even though I'm supposed to be. Don't got anything to sell you. Not going to tell you any particular brand. I've got mine. You guys should know by now I like EcoFlow. But there's nothing wrong with Blue Eddy. There's nothing wrong with, Intertech. There's several brands out there that are good, reputable companies, and I would recommend going with one. You've got a lot of fly-by-night companies, and I don't know names. I think Pecron or something's one, and, I'm not trying to call them out, but that one comes to mind. Oups or something, Oupes, I think is another one. And hey, you make your own decisions, you do you, boo. But I would stay away from these fly-by-night companies. It's just my advice. I can tell you that I have seen incredible customer service with EcoFlow. That's the groups that I'm in over on Facebook, so I can't tell you about what Blue Eddy's experiencing. I can't tell you what Jackery's experiencing or any of the other companies because I'm not in their groups. But I am in the EcoFlow groups, and I'm telling you, they've got some good customer support going on. That's all I can say. You choose what you wish. Just make sure that before you click add to cart that you've considered everything and that you know what you're getting. So anyway, that's all I wanted to tell you. I hope you all have a blessed day. As always, shalom.